Hey there, Dale.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I'm assuming you had a great 3-day weekend.
It was very nice. It was very nice. You?
Well, I can't complain. It was a 3-day weekend. So, thank you, President's Day. Some presidents, maybe not all of them.
Yes, let's not get carried away.
All right. I've said too much. Let's move into it before we get in trouble. First time home buyer seminar is actually tonight, Tuesday, February 20th, 5 o'clock p.m. online in person here, Homestead Mortgage, Main Street, Jackson. We hope to see you there.
Yep. And then the first Tuesday of March, the credit education seminar, again, 5 o'clock, Main Street office in Jackson. Please be there, learn about credit.
And then we have the I Will Wait for Spring special. Basically, we're paying for your appraisal at close of escrow. We've only got 9 days left until this special runs out. We've had a few people take advantage of it. It seems to be very helpful. A lot of buyers are actually getting into the market sooner than they expected. So if you have anybody that's sitting on the fence, they got 9 days to take advantage of it. Dale, state of the market. What is going on? Last week was not the direction we wanted to head.
No.
What exactly took place?
Yeah, in fact, last week, actually, well, long story short, the feds released some numbers that were not pleasing to the market, if you will. And we'll delve into that a little bit later, what those numbers really mean. But basically, year over year, the Fed's saying we have 6.25% inflation, and that's really not true or accurate. So,
yeah, and what we believe here at Homestead and a lot of the market data is that it's closer to about 5.37, maybe 5.5, somewhere in between, but definitely not at 6.2. I mean, we have a full percentage point difference. And that's why a lot of the market's kind of upset with what the Federal Reserve found with CPI, Consumer Price Index, because it's just not taking into account on shelter very much. And basically, it's so crass and it's so ridiculous, but we have to, this is what the federal government basically asks when they look at shelter costs. If someone were to rent to your home today, how much do you think it would rent for monthly, unfurnished, without utilities? Dale, what's so wrong with this?
well, it's kind of like when we're talking about refinancing, right? It's all based on equity. You ask somebody what your house is worth. The numbers change, but it's the same story. Well, my neighbor's just sold for 400. Mine's better, so I'm thinking 425.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks their house is better than somebody else's, and of course, this data is going to be inflated.
Yeah.
My house is going to rent for $3,000 a month because who knows why? Nobody's going to pay me $3,000 a month to rent my house, but that's what people say.
Yeah, so we basically have unfounded data that's dictating the shelter costs. And you might think, okay, well, that's fine. But the consumer price index includes food, it includes travel, it includes transport, it includes goods and services, different things like that. So, shelter is just one component. Well, shelter makes up 44% of CPI, 44%. So when you have a whole entire percentage point difference on this, you look at shelter and you realize, well, that's the problem. And this is what caused our interest rates to bump up. Last week, we were at 6.77% on average. Before, we were at 6.62, 6.64. So it wasn't the direction we wanted to head. And that ultimately doesn't give people a lot of confidence. So, Dale, trueflation, we're bringing them up. Okay,
Here.
We can take a look here and we can see that this is a month over month figure. Before we were looking at year over year, 1.64 versus the U.S. government 3.4%. I mean, what do you make of this? It's stark difference.
Well, it's a manipulation of data. You can give three people the same 10,000 points of data, and three people will come up with three different answers. And that's the problem that we're having right now, is there's a lot of data. It's being manipulated to whatever end the one user wants to make it say.
Yep, yep. And in this particular case, you brought up the word data. You can give 10,000 points of data. Well, how about 10 million? Trueflation uses about 10 million data points to get these numbers, but we only see about 80,000 data points in CPI. So it's a little bit more robust to look at the Trueflation data points, and it's a little bit more accurate and a little bit more true to life than what the US government is reporting. And if we always think about, okay, what is the Federal Reserve waiting for? They keep saying that 2% inflation data, 2%. Guys, look at this. We're at 1.64. So what are we waiting for? I don't know.
Apparently, we're waiting for the cows to come home.
Yeah, and not everybody owns a cow. So
Yep.
anyways, that's about where it's at for today's market update. We're in a holding pattern. Interest rates are in a holding pattern. We do expect rates to drop at some point in 2024. Again, holding true, and this is just my personal opinion. Dale, I know you might feel the same way. We're in an election year, so we should see rates come down.
There's two things that make rates come down, quite frankly. Election years and wars. One is okay, one is not. So
well, before we get in more trouble, we started off getting in trouble. We're ending getting in trouble. I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
All right, bye.